My work on the Joplin Arc Pylon progresses slowly, but it progresses.
Okay. Hey friends, Kate Attack here. Welcome back for another episode of Dishonored. We left off last time by successfully dealing with the correct Lady Boyle. We managed to do that without killing her. We went the non-lethal route, and we didn't spoil the party. So that's great. And now we have a couple things to do. We have a package waiting for us, and now we need to go meet with Admiral Havelock. So we're gonna go upstairs and meet with him first. Or meet with our package first. See how our package is doing. Oh, there's... Oh, right, okay. Oh no, there's one of those things down there. Ew. I should probably, like, check down there every now and then and see if, like, new stuff spawns. Because stuff does seem to spawn around here periodically. Like, between missions, and so I think it's probably worth a check. Oh, what is that? Mystical, what the frick? What is with all these bone charms? What? Oh my god, what is with... What? Okay, let's get the rune. Bone charm, 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 bone charm. How many bone charms did he leave us? What was that, like 7, 8? Money, mystical rat artifacts, mystical fish artifact, a pouch, mystical wolfhound artifact. Oh my god, there's more. Bone charm, bone charm, bone charm. Mystical whale artifact? Pouch? Oh, how much shit did he leave us? That was awfully generous here. And how? Alright, let's read the note. Whoever you are, I must thank you for sparing at least part of my family. We all have enemies, certainly we Boyle women. In a way, you've done me a favor, so you deserve a reward. I've passed this along from one of my servants through another who knows another, to one of yours. May we never cross paths again. So, it was one of the sisters. Interesting. That's my guess. Anyways, it says we Boyle women, and there was the 3 sisters, so... Alright. For over a year now, I have lived away from the Abbey, without the company of my overseer brethren or the guidance of the blind sisters of the oracular order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut purses, murderers and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers. At times, I have ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and the outlying ruins frequented by those of ill means. My beard has grown long, and I wear the weathered clothing and bits of boiled leather favored by the Bottle Street and Hatter gangs, and those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing among those criminals and heretics who were not fit to live, executing them justly and using their deaths as means of building my reputation. So far, this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dodd in order to get close to him. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dodd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off of the Pandician coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to the legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead and the witch controlled the crew, with Dodd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years we now believe he spent traveling the Isles, studying anatomy and the occult in the great halls of learning and in hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dodd is even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself. And for a time, before a schism developed, he counted the Brigmore witches among his allies. All the while, he honed his craft, and it is during this time we believe he began to consort with the outsider. New reports emerged of a dusky-skinned assassin, paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, but all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke. From a nearby rooftop, he gestured and a noble woman stumbled from her balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. Most recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dodd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapor masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds, enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene. Carrying a bottle of milk home to her crippled brother, she was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district. In a narrow street, she passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the ratty curtain, the girl saw into an abandoned apartment, used by miscreants for gambling and trading haberweed. An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognized from the teachings given her by her local overseer. A man she describes as resembling Dodd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit as if in an argument. He took a carving, made of pale bone, from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse, she slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt. Dodd is an agent of the outsider and must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath, and the great purpose of my life. Until Dodd is dead, and his corruption has been purged from the world, I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way toward him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's mask again until Dodd breathes no more. Wowie, that was a long one. Field Survey Notes The Royal Spy. Excerpt from the personal memoirs of Hiram Burroughs, dated several years earlier. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the distillery district, but more slowly than I'd expected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day removing the heads that need removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that this is beyond her thinking, against her very nature as a trusting person, to believe that traitors move among us. But I know they do. They must. No, Desmond would rather spend her time with the royal protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety, but a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wine glass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. There are many threats around us, threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dunwall Tower, she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles, yet her mother spoils her and she spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Corvo to teach her to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. Shut up, computer. Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunwall Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in his day, Emperor Caldwin left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they pleased. If it were up to me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The water lock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday the wrong person is going to slip in and we'll suffer for it. Mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting the heads of state. The Empress also disapproves of my plans for the Sokolov devices. Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the watch. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, will it all sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. Perhaps I have been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order, perhaps somewhere nice in the estate district. Hiram Burroughs, Royal Spymaster. Words are hard today. Royal Spymaster. Alright, I think there was another book. Pouch? Alright, Early Life and Criminal Record of Slackjaw. I don't know, I think we read this. Maybe not, actually. Let's read it just in case. You want the chinwag on Slackjaw? What he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that in the days before he was boss of the Bottle Street gang. Time was. Young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed. Dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanages, it was either the gangs or working in the mudlarks, and no one wants that. Some got pressed into the Navy or put down in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families. As hard as it was on the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we were free. Or at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns anymore, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart or sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along, because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more coin. Plus, none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple of big jobs with Black Sally across town, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he was an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening, we were all taking in a body show in the theater house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning, and throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Slackjaw. Hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. We look to see if there's going to be a blood brawl, but Slackjaw just points at the door, and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day, without telling us why, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along. We stop at the docks, and Slackjaw actually pays coin for it, a heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off the side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off it at different angles. Slackjaw's got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reached his girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside, and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. When he sees Slackjaw out in the street, a look comes over his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out the side door, bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver headed straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams, but Slackjaw holds on to the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with the chain wrapped around his left arm, hooks sunk into Mike the Fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that, and using his left hand, but he was a big guy, and it took a lot of stabbing before he went to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going, until finally it was just Mike the Fish blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. When it was over, here's the brilliant part, Slackjaw took out a note and stuck to Mike's face with a nail. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple of months, but word spread fast. By the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses, telling them that he was running a brand new crew over on Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green-Eyed Trish even came back missing a thumb. But apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. Seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market. Another slipping and falling into the water, out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly open wide and a Tivian pear stuffed into his mouth. Still not sure what that meant. And Sheila Barnsworth was found bubbling in a cauldron of hot wax. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters. Offers to the underbosses, telling them that they'd be treated fair as peers. He even sent Green-Eyed Trish with one of the letters. All of the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of his main competition, Slackjaw went in for stabilizing his business, real neat-like. Calling in favors, smoothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus. Showing what he could be like as a boss. So everything got quiet, which always makes the boys of the City Watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spymaster Snitches and Responsible Citizens Group, as they called themselves, telling everyone working in a shop or sweeping off the front steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms among the shopkeepers and the watch too, telling them that he was in town to stay and that things would be run properly from now on, without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running the hound fights, and offering up the ladies and gentlemen of the night, if you take my meaning. Then the plague came. At first it seemed like a good thing. A few people got sick and everyone wanted to buy those potions, from Sokolov or Piero. Health elixir or spiritual remedy, they call him. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had an old whiskey factory with a still, where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Sokolov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon, everyone in the slums was sick and business was good. But after a while, there were so many people down with the plague that everyone got scared. Everybody started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunwall would slide into the void. Spymaster Burroughs took over and the watch started using all that new Sokolov technology. Watchtowers, tall buoys, and them arc pylons. They put up a wall of light across Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. But Slackjaw surprised us again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley or one of the other isles, he stayed and kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch with their taxes and rations. And that's kept us alive, so far. Crowley of the Bottle Street Gang. Oh man, he's dead, isn't he? Poor guy. Oh lord, so many books to read. The Journal of Granny Rags. Did I read this? No, this looks new. Excerpt from the ramblings of a street denizen. Of course I'll tell you, dearie. I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen, I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street where the neighbors are all setting fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside. Warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first two are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine people. Vera More, everyone would say. Your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Better even. Your dinners are lavish and their parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said. And he was just barely a man, so young, painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand. All my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint, glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husband and I weren't always at home, no. We traveled together, he and I, to the far ends of the Isles. Beyond even. All the way to the red cliffs of Pandysia to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. I brought the old bones home, hid them from my dear husband. Then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me. Make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower, the royal headsman himself now. My little mute boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Better bones were what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. I made him soup and then he was sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy, carved in the name of the one with the black eyes. And after my husband was gone, given away as birthday gifts. I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old and don't have many to give my presents to. It's sifting through the garbage for granny rags, feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street. Slackjaw and his boys, always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. In the end, we'll be together with him, you and me in the dreary night with the stars above and below. And always, the one with the black eyes, dearie. Wow. My goodness. All right. I think we've read everything. I don't think anything else is going to show up, but holy presents from what's her face. One of the Boyle sisters. Holy crap. Okay. Is little Emily here? What does this say?
Yes, I tell her you will still need to study. And as Empress, you'll have proper tutors, one for each subject. And many personal servants. She asks if she'll have spies. Yes, I tell her. I suppose you will. And advisors. So many advisors your head will spin. She wants a cake maker. Well, I tell her you'll have a whole kitchen staff with an army of chefs. And of course she asks if she can have cake every day. And I say if that is your wish, my young Empress, which always makes her giggle. Sometimes she gets so sad, remembering these things. They remind her of her poor mother. It's been 6 months, and Emily is resilient, but sometimes I can hear her crying when she thinks I'm asleep.
It's so sad. Poor little Emily. Oh, okay, we read that one. Definitely read Call to Spears. Trials of Aptitude. Yep, we definitely read that. Okay, Emily isn't here. So I think now it's time to go see Admiral Havelock. I don't think...
Such laughter, and they're singing old songs, linking arms. But that was from a happier time.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Oh, there's a goodies here. Oh. Can't believe I missed that. Okay.
Hello, love.
Hello, Lydia. Oh,
Corvo, the time has come. Everything we have done,
I thought he was
everything
farther
that you have
downstairs.
done, has served to make this moment possible.
The Lord Regent is exposed, Corvo. Vulnerable. And now everything's in place to strike at him. We're one step from the throne.
okay.
One man, one beating heart, is all that's left of the forces that brought this city to the brink of ruin.
It is simple, but it will be far from easy. The Lord Regent's paranoia has reached an all-time high. He has lost the support of the overseers, the Parliament, his financial base, and he's lost Sokolov, who made his security technology. So at Dunwall Tower, he has consolidated every remaining loyal man around him.
He knows something is coming. He knows you are coming. And everything depends on him being correct. The arrow will help you prepare. Then Samuel will take you close to the tower, near the waterlock. Last time you were there was the horrible day that all of this started. Now you will go there and end it. Good luck, Corvo.
I'm not sure what else we could say, other than our hopes are riding on you.
Alright, I'm nervous. The Pendleton votes. Havelock. Bravo, sir. The Lord Regent is furious about losing the most recent vote at Parliament. He was counting on the support of the Pendleton family and expected limited resistance. Just as you said it would, losing the Pendleton voting bloc has really slowed him down. And since the Lord Regent's defense budget failed as well, he's getting desperate financially. It seems that most of the coin he's using to keep the City Watch going is coming from a close ally. We suspect it's a powerful noblewoman who is perhaps his mistress. I'll try to dig up more information. As we know, if the Watch doesn't get paid, in coin and in elixir, their loyalty will start to crumble. Your friend on the inside. Yeah, that was the Boyle gal.
You've come very far, Corvo. We are almost there.
Definitely read that. Well, this is my little area map. Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that. Maybe. Oh, Gaffer's Tale, definitely read that. There's like 2 of them in this room. Yeah, I definitely read that. Alright, anything else up here to loot? Okay, let's boogie on down. And grab this. Yeah, I thought they were in here because here's usually where we have like most of our meetings. Hello, Callista?
Emily's hiding again. It started as a game, but it's turned into her way of teasing me.
Oh no.
If you see her, will you send her back to me?
Yeah, sure.
It's time for her studies.
Okay, let's find Emily. Search the streets for Emily. Does that mean like these streets? What the Excuse me. Okay, it's just gonna float there. Oh, I see a little Emily. Emily?
Don't make any sound. I'm hiding from Callista. It's a game we like to play.
Are you sure?
I remember playing hide and seek with you, too. I don't know why it's so much fun to hide from her. Here. This was at the edge of the river, in the mud. I put it under my pillow for good luck, but it gave me bad dreams. You can have it, as a present.
Well, thank you.
I'll do my lessons now. Hiding gets boring after a while anyway.
There we go. Alright. Sweet little bean. I don't think there's really anything else for me to grab here. I don't know why that's freaking floating. Am I gonna regret being in here? Let's check it out. Oh, money. Isn't there a thing I was seeing? I don't know. Alright, let's Ow. I don't actually know how to, like, kill those things. Grenades, in that case. 50 coins? Interesting. Okay, so they just need a little explosion. and that'll take care of them. Oh god! I don't know where these keep coming from, but I'm not pleased. I don't want them here. Can I not? Oh no, I can totally get up. There we go. Done. Done and done and done and done. Okay, Piero, do you have anything good for me?
Do you need me to build something for you? I can make anything, practically.
Let's see what you got. I'm pretty sure I don't really need a whole lot of stuff here, to be honest. I mean, I could just upgrade it just to upgrade it, but I don't know when I'm even gonna use it. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Alright, let's go check on them.
What are the principal islands in the Empire?
Circanos, Crystal, Tivia, and Morley.
And which one is the biggest?
Crystal! And it's the best one too.
And how does whale oil work?
That one's a trick. No one knows. Not even Piero.
Excuse us, Corvo. I'm afraid you're a little distracting for the girl.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to hang out. I'm sorry. Alright, I guess I should heal up. Alright, I think... Okay, so now we gotta go to Dunwall Tower, so let's start that trip.
Ready to face the Lord Regent? About time we took care of him, I say. Long past time.
I don't know, I guess so. I'm nervous. Alright, return to the tower. It's time to end the Lord Regent's rule, and if you succeed, Emily can be crowned Empress. You must return to Dunwall Tower and infiltrate the place where you once served as Lord Protector. Ever paranoid, the Lord Regent has upgraded security over the months and has a heavily defended safe room to which he will escape if you set off any alarms. Crap. Oh man, back to the beginning.
This is it, Corvo. Your last memories of Dunwall Tower might not be good ones, eh?
No.
So maybe you can make up for what happened back then. It'll be a bit of a climb from the waterlock.
That's fine, I got Blink.
Most
no biggie.
important thing is killing the Lord Regent. Built himself quite a place at the top of the tower. Calls it his safe room or something. Crazy if you ask me. Another point of interest while I'm giving you the grand tour, Corvo. Broadcast control station here where all them announcements come from. Might be worth looking into.
Oh, it's a buoy.
Next time I see you, the Lord Regent will be dead. And if not, well, it was an honor to serve with you.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Samuel. Alright. I mean, this is a great place to wrap it up. We'll continue it next time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Love your face. Take care of yourself. And we'll see you next time.